Right now I'm going to talk to you about college admissions letters. And really, they're nothing to worry about. They're just another genre of writing. I'm going to break it down into three things. First off, overall, what do you concern yourself about? I'm going to prep you to write. Second one, who's your audience? What voice should you use for them? And third, what's your focus? What are you going to hone in on to write your paper about and show them about yourself? That's it. Pretty simple. Let's check it out. So what's the overall scoop on college admission essays? You want to get accepted. You want them to buy what you're selling. If you're good enough, maybe they'll offer you a scholarship. How are you going to sell yourself to them? Through creativity. This isn't your normal 5-paragraph essay. It's like a small memoir. You're selling the best parts of you in the most interesting ways, maybe a little bit of twist and turn in that short time. Sell yourself to get in, to get accepted. That's the overall scoop. That's what you need to think about. So now we're going to talk about audience and voice. The first thing I want you to do, think about your audience. Someone sitting down to their desk, not particularly excited to read essays from a lot of people they don't know. Maybe they got a coffee, a Monster, they're kicking back reading through these. So what do you have to do for this person? Stand out. Something a little bit different. Give them a new perspective on you. They're going to have the list of your awards, letters from your teachers, everything you've done. But this is your shot to show them your voice, what you think about life. It's you on the paper more so than anything else. And how are you going to really bring them in? It's a hook. I think we've read enough literature this year, both good and bad, and I've had you read a couple examples. Some people can hook you in, make you really want to keep reading. Other people, it falls flat. When you're only writing for 250 to 500 words, you need to hook them in at the beginning and keep them going with each sentence. And don't forget, at the end, maybe to bring that hook back again, to leave them at the end that they remember who you are and why you should be going to their school, what's different about you. And going on that, be candid. Maybe you're a little bit negative, a little bit critical. But you know what? If you're critical of something, that can catch their eye too. It's a little bit different. Hook it back around, bring it in, show your lesson, show why being critical is important. You don't have to see that the world is all rosy. You have to be yourself in a way that is interesting to other people. And when I talk about, voice, of how you're writing, you can bring in some dialogue too. You'll have your own voice, your own perspective. If you bring in some dialogue of something someone else said or something you said, just putting it in those quotes and having it stand out, it sounds like a second voice when you read through it. It can really make the difference on a hook or drawing people in if you just have that one little statement. And finally, I like to have this last, but I also hate to have it last. These people are going to be the grammar police like crazy. More so than me. Because you know what? With all these essays, why would they accept someone who doesn't know their homonyms, who can't place a comma correctly, who didn't take the time to get that fixed? That is your last step. After you've written it, talk to me, talk to friends, talk to parents, whoever you think's good at reading it, who can hear your voice in something, to make sure you have it punctuated properly. And that's it for audience and voice. So now we're talking about focus. This is where the content of your essay comes in. Say you have a field of things you're doing in your life. I like to go with this image. You got this field of all the things you do. You don't want to write about that whole field. You want to write about that prettiest flower or that most interesting blade of grass. You're really focusing it down. I know I've said it before, 250 to 500 words. Maybe some schools want closer to 1,000. Still not a lot if you think about some of the assignments I've given you. You want to have that focus on something interesting. Your most important achievements, whether it's sports, family, hobbies, whatever is important to you. It might not be something I've even said before. It's just your best story, something that shows you as you. And the way you're going to write it, sentence to sentence. Maybe when you write a bigger paper for me, you're thinking paragraph to paragraph. Or Giles, like, for some reason we need this many pages. It's not what you're thinking here. There should be no weak sentences. You want to lead your reader along, this coffee drinking, monster pounding reader, to get to that next point, to think you're so interesting. And beyond sentences, think about paragraphing. Think about when I hand you something and it's just this huge blob of words. How do you feel about that? Not terribly excited to read it. Break things down into paragraphs. Separate your ideas. Make sure it's brilliantly executed. This is just like grammar. What is this admission counselor going to know about you at the end? Think about this statement. Ask yourself this. When you're done writing, say, at the end, the admission counselor will know blank about me. Shouldn't be that difficult after everything we've gone through. I hope you did well. If you have any questions, ask me in person or watch this video over again and maybe you'll pick up something new. Thanks a lot for watching.